There's something ineffable about school days, a time when the world felt bigger yet somehow smaller, full of promise and possibility, before we were tethered to screens that now occupy our every moment. As we look back, there's a warmth that envelopes those memories, a soft nostalgia that recalls the laughter echoing through school hallways and the careful ritual of each day. Let's take a stroll through 4 enchanting school days we all shared before the digital age, reliving those heartwarming moments that are etched in our minds. We start our journey in the quiet mornings of autumn. Can you remember the brisk air that greeted us as we hurried to school, wrapped snugly in cardigans or peacoats? The way the leaves crunched underfoot, a symphony of reds, yellows, and oranges swirled around us, welcomed us to another day of learning. The smell of fresh pencils, brand new, straight from the stationery store, filled our classrooms as teachers prepared for the arrival of eager minds. Oh, that unmistakable scent when you peeled the plastic off a new Elsa chart, or the joy of unwrapping a fresh stack of notebooks, its pristine pages waiting for ideas to blossom. Next came the thrill of recess, that glorious interlude where we shed our books and transformed into fierce warriors on the playground. Remember the sound of laughter, punctuated by the raucous calls of childhood games? We all knew the ferocity of that sacred bell, ringing sharp and crisp to signal the end of freedom. As we dashed back to class, our cheeks flushed, hearts racing, we carried that exuberance back with us, woven into the fabric of our school days. Now let's move a bit deeper into the rhythm of the school week, the cherished ritual of lunch. Do you remember the clatter of lunch trays on polished cafeteria tables, the mingling scents of peanut butter and jelly, bologna sandwiches, or that delectable smell of the day's special? Maybe you traded a fruit cup for a friend's chocolate pudding, that sweet barter marking the camaraderie we cherished. How often we daydreamed while chewing on fried dough or similar delicacies, gazing out of those big, rounded windows at the world beyond, all the while swapping the most exciting bits of gossip and stories about our favorite TV shows. Now, we traverse across the elegant bridges of learning, poignantly embodied in the classrooms where we absorbed knowledge. How fitting is it that we recall the creaky floorboards and the quaint blackboards smeared with chalk dust. You could almost feel the fabric of time spinning as we raised our hands, yearning to answer questions, parading around in our own imaginations that danced with adventure. We all knew the magic of those moments of being called upon, your heart racing as you stood taller, as if the spotlight was all yours for that brief second. But what's a school year without art class? Do you recall the gentle hiss of the water in the paint trays, the clinking of brushes collecting color, and the eager anticipation of what masterpiece you could create with just a few strokes? Those days when we colored outside the lines not only on the page but in life, it was a riot of creativity. Oh, the soft squish of modeling clay and the smell of freshly sharpened colored pencils, gliding smoothly, dance across the paper like the effortless creativity of our thoughts. That unbounded exploration was where dreams took shape, perhaps lingering on your walls long after graduation, if only to remind you of the child still inside. As we explore these enchanting memories, there's a familiar sensation tugging at us, one of camaraderie, connection, a profound understanding of shared experiences. You remember how those hallways echoed with the sounds of our youthful voices, how every footstep and flutter of a school uniform told a story. We all knew the friendships forged in those bustling spaces, bonds that, although perhaps faded over time, still shimmered when recollected. What might it be like to step back into those hallowed halls, if only for a moment, to feel that sense of belonging once again? Now, as we approach our final stop on this nostalgic journey, let us be enchanted by our most beloved memory, the iconic school bus. Who could forget the grand yellow chariot of our childhood? The piercing roar of the engine as it pulled up to the curb, radiating an air of adventure, ushering us to another day of fun or learning. The soft, worn seats that welcomed our wandering spirits, while the scent of diesel mingled with our laughter and the crisp morning air. We all remember the rush to grab those coveted window seats, pressing our foreheads against the cool glass, vying to see who could spot the first barn, the picturesque countryside, or a fellow classmate sprinting to catch up. The bus host, the friendly driver, wasn't just our chauffeur, but a sentinel of a sacred space, ensuring our safe passage through the journey of childhood. As we rolled down those endless roads, our lives unfurled alongside us, dotted with daydreams about the future, while we sang silly songs and shared tales of daring adventures. Can you still hear the wistful laughter as we waved goodbye to our friends at the end of the day, the warmth of friendships playing a gentle melody in our hearts? Those yellow buses, more than mere transportation, were the vessels that carried us not just to school, but through the remarkable tapestry of growing up. They were symbols of camaraderie and adventure, reminders of a time when our greatest concern was where to sit during lunchtime or who would win the next game of kickball. Those school days before the digital age, filled with lush memories we can still touch, taste, and feel. They hold within them a powerful promise that, even as time flows like a river, we can treasure those moments, reflecting warmth toward each other and the lives we've lived. So, as you ponder these snippets from our shared past, I invite you to share your own magical school memories in the comments below. What snapshots stand out for you? Let's create a mosaic of nostalgia, a cherished dialogue of days gone by, binding us together in our shared experiences. In this world transformed by technology, let's hold tight to those enchanting days of yore. After all, it's our shared stories that will never fade, reminding us of the beauty that still exists whenever we allow ourselves to remember. As we bask in the glow of those cherished memories, it's comforting to linger a little longer, unearthing even more enchanting moments that rounded out our school days. Let's dive further into our shared past and uncover more layers of those heartwarming experiences. Take a moment to travel back to the spirit of sharing homework with friends. How many of us were the scholars while others thrived in the art of spirited debate? Do you recall gathering in someone's living room, a pocket of youthful energy, as we worked through assignments with arms piled high and commented notes? The gentle whir of a fan would hum in the background, the smell of popcorn wafting in from the kitchen, setting the stage for what felt like serious study mixed with the delightful chaos of youth. We would exchange tips on the subjects we struggled with, building trust and friendship in those moments of vulnerability. One time, I remember a group huddled around a large wooden table, the sunlight streaming through sheer curtains, illuminating pages filled with the furious scribbles of innovative minds. The laughter as one unfortunate soul spilled grape soda on a history report. The panicked rush to soak up the spills with a paper towel, yet in the end, everyone reassured them that creativity would shine through. The distillation of memories turned into stories to be told for years to come. Oh, those days of learning together huddled over textbooks, sharing snacks, and creating bonds that felt unshakable. Then, think about the excitement of school projects, that inevitable rite of passage. You remember the tangible buzz in the air as we all prepared to unveil our creations? Each project was like a token of our hard work, a badge of honor worn with pride. Perhaps you remember the cardboard dioramas, crafted with gusto, complete with miniature figures and vibrant colors. There was that one project on the solar system, remembering how your hands felt raw and paint-stained, yet you were beaming with pride as your teacher admired it. Oh, the thrill of standing in front of the class to present your work was unmatched. Your heart would flutter, and you'd feel the familiar heat rising to your cheeks, the room buzzing with the energy of curious classmates. You shared not just facts, but anecdotes about the time spent creating those masterpieces. Those moments were not merely milestones, they engraved a sense of accomplishment in our youthful hearts. And how could we discuss school days without recalling the dance partners we had? Perhaps you recall standing nervously in those gymnasium corners during school dances, clutching the edges of your skirt or the sleeve of your shirt, unsure of when to step onto the polished wooden floor. The mingling scents of hairspray and cheap cologne filled the air, accented by the comforting sounds of laughter. While the music spilled into the hall, we would approach our friends, giggling at something someone said. The safe circle of voices would suddenly merge into a clot of music and joy, where we moved together in sync, swaying gently as if the world outside faded away. Those little moments of stumbling over the same dance step, the shared look of embarrassment, and then that contagious laughter still have a way of bringing a smile to your face. Remember those moments where someone would take the lead, announcing plans for a brave dance with the boy from across the room? We cheered our friends on, hearts filled with pride, basking in the light of those shared experiences. Pride swelled with every awkward shuffle and every bright smile, revealing the innocence of being young and naive. For many of us, those dance floors were where first crushes bloomed, where friendships deepened, and the magic of fleeting youthful joy bathed us in warmth. Venturing back to academics, let's not gloss over student council. Did you ever feel the thrill of making posters, designing flyers, and standing up during school assemblies? The hard work of rallying your classmates, raising your voice in a crowded auditorium. We all had that one loud friend who could charm everyone with their enthusiasm, while another was your rock, helping maintain sanity amidst the electric excitement of elections. The cheers erupting when the results came in were reminiscent of small-scale political movements, the thrill of democracy distilled down to our young lives. Could your heart still remember the mixed feelings of disappointment when you didn't win an election but felt proud for showing courage? Oh, that's humanity at its finest, learning that sometimes we put forth our best selves and all that matters is the spirit we carry. The echoes of those election speeches, the notes of laughter, and the pulsating heartbeat of camaraderie filled the room, making every moment feel grand. As we navigate through these treasured school days, it's hard not to think of those spirited pep rallies, wouldn't you agree? Picture the gymnasium, filled with exuberant energy, painted faces cheering on the school's team, the atmosphere thick with the exhilarating anticipation of competition. The laughter bounced off the walls as we painted banners, screamed school cheers, and united for a collective goal. Can you hear the collective roar of our voices and the way the clanging of drums reverberated through our chests? It was about more than just sports. It was the sense of belonging, the pulse of spirited pride in what we represented together. The creative chants that emerged, effortlessly evolving into songs, weaving a tapestry of memories that tied us to that school year. The feeling of being part of something bigger than ourselves wrapped around us like a cozy scarf on a chilly morning, making each rally a treasured part of our unique school experience. Speaking of creativity, aren't the school plays just absolute gems of our past? Do you remember the timid voices practicing lines in the hallway before the auditions, each person determined to leave a mark? The excitement of donning costumes, cutting down cardboard boxes to make props, oh, the thrill of crafting a world created by our collective imaginations. Whether you were in the spotlight or crafting the backdrop, those plays revealed our passions and our unshakable enthusiasm for storytelling. And as the curtains opened in the dimly lit auditorium, the audience holding their breath for that first note or word, instant warmth washed over us. The applause that followed was a sweet, ripe fruit of our labor, a standing ovation often needed more than any trophy. Those nights painted stars in our eyes and engraved happiness thoroughly between pages of our lives, never solely for recognition, but simply for the love of performing and sharing moments together. In all these shared experiences, we remember how the small routines marked the passage of time. For instance, can you think back to the excitement of the first day of school? Families rising a little earlier, sunlight filtering through the leaves as the neighborhood stirred awake against the canvas of optimism. The crispness of new shoes accompanied our hurried breakfasts, the bright colors of fresh supplies lined up on kitchen counters. That feverish energy spilled into every interaction, the fresh start forged in our hearts as our classmates arrived in their new clothes, laughter mingling with hopeful smiles as we saw familiar faces. Those fleeting moments where we dared to dream big, where anything seemed possible, were special. Every year opened a door to new adventures alongside our loyal friends, the camaraderie echoing back, reminding us of the unbreakable bonds that grew as swiftly as the seasons changed. As we conclude this beautiful exploration of shared school days, let's return to one last, universal truth, the power of those friendships formed in the bustling hallways, crafted in laughter, and solidified in shared experiences. They withstood the test of time, echoing with smiles and tears, looking fondly back as we recounted tales that lived on long after the classroom doors closed. Now, as we take a step away from this beautiful journey down memory lane, hold this feeling close. Recall all those moments that filled our youth with laughter, heart, and sincerity, reminding us that education wasn't merely confined to learning facts, but in crafting memories sewn into the fabric of our lives. Every shimmering moment woven together creates an intricate tapestry of all we are in essence, a gentle reminder of the beauty of human connection. So, as we part for now, cherish these memories and share your own. What painted snapshots do you hold dear from those magical school days? Let's reflect, reminisce, and embrace the warmth that these moments bring as we carry them forward together, a timeless tradition binding us one generation to another.